Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Myself Muhammad Miskatul Rahman. The goal of this video is to talk about the report on challenges that lecturers are facing during this pandemic based on our findings. Introduction. COVID-19 pandemic wreaked havoc on the worldwide education system. To enforce social distance and classes have been halted. The educational institutions from schools to universities have switched to online teaching and evaluation techniques. A staggering 84% of our teachers reported facing challenges and delivering educational digitality, with close to half the teachers facing issues related to the internet, both signal issues and data expenses. Literature review. The goal of education is to improve the quality for learning experience for both students and lecturers. Because of COVID-19, lecturers are unprepared to teach using modern technology. Unpreparedness in education in the face of fast technological development demonstrates an inability to be oriented towards knowledge flow. The uses of technology by lecturers is seen as a career obstacle, stated in Lu 2018. People also believe that elderly lecturers have a hard time adjusting to new technology. Even after they seek further clearance, instructors, whether young or elderly lecturers, they still struggle to adapt to this new norm.
Hi, I am Izati and I do the significant of study part in the report. So the problem statement of our project is that the issue at UTP is that some of the lecturers are struggling in adjusting new technologies, which make them look unprepared to teach and cause some difficulties in the classroom. Another issue is while lecturers provide various activities and exams that are like what is taught in the classroom, they could not fulfill the learning aim as some of it are not as effective when conducted in online class compared to in physical class.
Hello, my name is Sanjay San of Roselind and I am responsible for the three parts of the research paper. And first one is the objective, second is the hypothesis, and third is the research methodology. In the first part, we have two objectives we have came out, and the first one is to observe the challenges that the lecturers are facing due to the changes in teaching methods. Due to pandemic, the lecturers are changing their platform from face-to-face to online. So we will like to know at the ending of the paper, we will like to know how these lectures struggles and the challenges that they meet when they adopting to the new technology as well as the online classes. The second objective is to suggest a suitable support for the lectures. Next, I'll go to the hypothesis. The real reason this research was conducted is to test our hypothesis. We have came out with two hypotheses, and the first one is the lecture adaptability influenced by technology changes. And our second hypothesis is lectures adaptability is not influenced by the technology changes. We have two hypotheses, and throughout the research we will find out which hypothesis is accepted. And the last part that I am responsible is in research methodology. The research method that we use for this study are by using quantitative method, a survey using Microsoft form. So due to pandemic, we couldn't have a face-to-face interviews and also face-to-face reviews from the lectures. So we have planned to segregate the Microsoft forms to the lectures and get their feedback in a quickest way, and the respondents are from UTP lectures. We focus on this review. That's all from me. Thank you.
As for our findings, we have asked some questions. Some of them are closely related to our research questions, which is the first one: what are the challenges faced by lecturers in using technology when teaching during online classes? The second one is what kind of support that the lecturers need to be provided by UTP. Firstly, section A, respondent demographic data shows that a total of 28 respondents comes from 16 male lecturers and 12 female lecturers. Next, the most responses come from 8 lecturers in Computer and Information Science Department. Meanwhile, there are 0 respondents from Geoscience and Fundamental and Applied Science Department. Lastly, 43% of respondents are lecturers in the range of 40 to 50 years old, followed by 32% ages of 50 to 60 years old. Coming next is 18% in the ages of 30 to 40 years old. Lastly, 7% in the range of 20 to 30 years old. As for the first research question, we can refer to the outcome from section C. Question 6. How difficult are the hurdles to use technology in your teaching method during the pandemic? Starting with the highest responses, 19 out of 28 lecturers face difficulties in class handling, referring to students' behavior. Secondly, 30 respondents chose software glitches as one of the hurdles. The third ones are lack of training and slow and unreliable internet access that has gotten 12 responses. Fourthly, 9 out of 28 lecturers selected lack of guidance provided by institutions. The second last is 5 respondents chosen insufficient support from IT technician. Lastly, 3 out of 28 lecturers are lack digital learning devices. As for the second research question, we can refer to the outcome in section E, question 10. I believe that sometimes I'm struggling with technological changes. Therefore, I need the highest percentage, 64.3% have rated somewhat urgent for need more training to use the technology. Secondly, 57.1% also thought it is somewhat urgent to have more time to learn using applications and more access to technology tools to integrate the class. Thirdly, 53.6% of respondents say it is somewhat urgent, which they need more support from the administration when it comes to technological needs. The rest are below 50% that is also considered crucial but won't be mentioned here. In a nutshell, class handling is the most challenging hurdle faced by lecturers during the pandemic. Also, UTP needs to provide more training for lecturers to use the technology.
Based on section E, the highest respondents age range are from 40 to 50 years old, which we can say that the generation gap between lecturer and students in technology is big, and the experience that the lecturer have in technology are poor compared to the students. Next, we go to section C, where the respondents were asked about how difficult are the following hurdles to using technology in your teaching method during the pandemic. Most of the respondents answered the class handling or the students' behavior. Second most answered are software glitches, and third most answered are slow and unreliable internet access. In here, we can see that lecturers do have struggles in their own way. Not only students, but lecturers also must struggle with the unreliable internet access and most of all to handle the class where the students are not responding or not even open their mic to speak, which can be very tiring and mentally exhausting. Lastly, in section D, respondents were asked to answer their belief that sometimes they are struggling with the technological changes. Therefore, the lecturers need the most urgent based on the respondents are faster access to internet connection. Therefore, we can say that lecturers also need help to accessing internet connection so that they can tutor in helping students as best as they can. In conclusion, we now know that lecturers do have struggles in these new teaching styles. Based on our findings, we can confirm that lecturers do have mental challenge sometimes and they need help in this new norm. We cannot blame anyone for this as the COVID-19 happened suddenly and the teaching method have been changed rapidly without anyone prepared for it. Even though we have lived in a technological world where advanced technology is another normal thing right now, but not all people will and fast to understand how to use it. With these studies and findings that we have made, we can say that this is an important study because if you look at the internet or any other sources, there are few studies about lecturers' adaptability to the technology in COVID-19 pandemic. Most of the studies are about the students, such as students' difficulties in studies in COVID-19 pandemic, mental health among students, etc. But if we look back, lecturers are the most affected regarding COVID-19 pandemic because they are the ones who are instructing and tutoring the students. But if lecturers are prepared and don't get help in the teaching technique, then who's going to teach the students? To suggest that these studies should be conducted in further detail and have proper research about this matter. We need to know what kind of methods or help that we can give to lecturers on how to manage their classes using advanced technology.